Did you know that in just 2 years, the Philippine e-commerce market is projected to absolutely skyrocket past $40 billion? Welcome to this explainer. Let's just dive right in, because we are looking at a massive, and I mean literally staggering financial opportunity in the Philippine e-commerce space for 2025 and 2026. If you've been wondering exactly where the momentum is heading and what the data is telling us about consumer buying habits in this incredibly fast-moving landscape, well, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down trending products and doing a deep dive market analysis using hard data to figure out where the real money is moving.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the e-commerce boom, then define high demand and low competition. After that, we'll dive into the health and wellness wave, navigate beauty and tech, explore sustainable and niche markets, and finally, wrap up with exactly how to find your winning product.
All right, Section 1, the Philippine e-commerce boom.
Now, what's really fascinating here is this number, $40.5 billion. To put that into perspective, the market already hit a super impressive $28 billion in 2024, but it's on track to reach that $40.5 billion mark by 2027. This kind of explosive growth doesn't just happen by accident. It's being heavily driven by a mobile-first, really young population, mostly Gen Z and millennials, and these guys are fiercely prioritizing convenience, health, and budget-friendly options. They're doing all their shopping on platforms like Shopee, Lazada, and more through social commerce right on TikTok.
But, it's not just domestic retail that's booming. Beyond local e-commerce, the Philippines is actually a powerhouse global supplier. Looking at the data from early 2025, top agricultural exports totally reinforced the country's economic momentum. We're talking about a massive $1.26 billion in animal and vegetable oils, largely driven by coconut oil. Then you have edible fruits and nuts bringing in another $1.07 billion. I mean, that is a whole lot of bananas and pineapples powering the global supply chain. We're also seeing hundreds of millions of dollars flowing in from processed vegetables, fruits, and tobacco substitutes. So what does this all mean? It basically shows a highly active, expanding agricultural value chain that's really supporting broader economic growth. Moving on to Section 2, high demand, low competition.
Okay, so the absolute sweet spot in e-commerce lies in high-demand, low-competition products. Basically, these are items that suddenly experience massive spikes in buyer interest, but the actual market supply is lagging way behind. And that creates a really unique, temporary window of opportunity. The whole secret here is spotting that emerging interest before the competition completely floods the market. To do that, sellers need to be incredibly agile. As the market experts point out, these aren't usually long-term sustainable advantages. Instead, they're explosive, short-term windows that you just have to capitalize on super quickly.
These golden opportunities generally fall into 4 specific buckets. First up, viral products. These are the items that just blow up on social media, almost always driven by influencer content. Next, we have niche items. These solve really specific problems for dedicated, often totally underserved customers who are more than happy to pay a premium. Then there are seasonal products, which naturally see massive, time-bound spikes in demand. And finally, problem-solving innovations. Think along the lines of new tech accessories that address a completely new pain point. Grabbing these opportunities means really understanding untapped audiences, or just catching on to timely cultural shifts.
Let's head into Section 3, the health and wellness wave.
The data we're looking at here is absolutely wild. I mean, the disparity is huge. While standard supplement searches are seeing, fairly modest growth of around 10%, we are looking at a staggering 4,300% year-over-year search explosion for herbal supplements. There is a profound shift happening right now in consumer behavior, moving strongly toward proactive health management. And this is heavily targeting both health-conscious youth and an aging Gen X population that's laser-focused on longevity and immunity. The data actually shows hundreds of thousands of monthly searches for things like multivitamins and protein powders.
Breaking this all down, here are the wellness winners you absolutely need to have on your radar. Items like vitamin C with zinc and local herbal solutions like malunggay or turmeric capsules are getting massive traction. They usually range from roughly 180 to 1,200 Filipino pesos. We're also seeing a ton of demand for portable smoothie blenders targeted at active youth and posture correctors tailored specifically for remote and hybrid office workers. The brilliant thing about products like supplements is that they're consumed daily, right? So they drive incredible repeat purchase rates, serving as this highly lucrative blue ocean market where the competition simply hasn't caught up to the demand yet.
Section 4, navigating beauty and tech.
Now, if you want to survive the fierce price wars and massive corporate giants in a red ocean market, you absolutely cannot afford to be generic. You really have to niche down. Beauty and personal care account for over 50% of all online shopping activity. It's a high-volume space, for sure, but compared to that wide-open blue ocean of wellness we just talked about, this area is defined by intense, completely cutthroat competition. It's dominated by major international brands, so standing out requires a laser-focused approach targeting highly specific sub-niches.
So what's actually breaking through all that noise right now? Well, in the beauty space, success means targeting really specific trends, like the glass skin aesthetic. Tinted sunscreen is absolutely huge right now because it gives you that dual functionality, sun protection plus coverage, which is perfectly suited for the humid Philippine climate. Niacinamide serums are also massively popular for their brightening effects. And lip oils? They've seen this incredible upward trend driven largely by TikTok. The real key here is focusing on formulations that actually make sense for the local weather and using active ingredients that consumers are specifically searching for. As Lucia Cedron, a senior product lead at Shopify, points out, customers are only going to come if you're telling a solid story and you're fulfilling a need that has unmet demand. I think this brilliantly captures the whole strategy for surviving in red oceans. Even in highly saturated markets, relatable branding is what actually moves the needle and drives sales. For example, you could market skincare specifically designed for Filipino skin tones, or use really relatable language in your listings that highlights how a product is perfect for the intense local heat. You absolutely must tell a solid story and fulfill a need that those generic global brands might just be completely overlooking.
Over in the tech and fashion sectors, there's just this consistent massive demand for low-cost, high-utility items. Electronics and accessories actually hold a whopping 17.1% revenue share on the major platforms. We're talking about everyday problem solvers, fast-charging cables, laptop stands for hybrid workers, and those little mini handheld fans that see huge spikes during the hot months. And in fashion, Gen Z is totally driving trends with things like linen coordinates, jorts, hobo bags, and super functional items like shapewear. These are basically volume plays, where staying on top of micro-trends on social media is literally the difference between having a winning store and a dead one.
Moving on to Section 5, Sustainable and Niche Markets.
Sustainable living is officially moving way past the trend phase and is now becoming a permanent lifestyle, especially for people living in urban areas. We're seeing some real, serious traction for everyday essentials that help cut back on plastic waste. Things like refillable pump bottles, solid shampoo and conditioner bars, and reusable feminine products are gaining very strong search volume. And interestingly enough, even home composting kits are finding a solid market among condo and apartment renters. These are folks who really want to participate in sustainable practices, but, they just don't have a backyard to do it in. But hey, a massive word of caution if you're thinking about entering this niche. You have to remember that eco-conscious buyers are highly selective. Vague green claims or just slapping on some generic earthy packaging will not work here. Your product descriptions must be brutally honest. You have to provide totally transparent ingredient lists and prove that your product has real, functional waste-reducing effectiveness. If you can actually build trust with this specific demographic, though, they will become fiercely loyal, repeat customers.
All right, our final section, Section 6, Finding Your Winning Product.
So here is your definitive trend spotting playbook. Step 1. Systematically check e-commerce bestsellers on Shopee and Lazada. Filter by category to see what's actually moving right now. Step 2. Mine social media. Search for tags like #BoudreauxFinds on TikTok or scroll through Instagram Reels to see what products are organically going viral. Step 3. Use Google Trends to spot those sudden breakout search spikes, rather than just looking at steady historical patterns. And finally, Step 4. Audit the competition. Jump into the Meta ad library to see if competitors are already spending heavily on a specific product, and check out supplier platforms to gauge the actual inventory availability.
So the most crucial takeaway here is speed. By the time those traditional market research reports finally come out, the competition has usually already arrived. You need to validate quickly. A highly effective strategy is to use dropshipping apps to test product demand without sinking a ton of cash into upfront inventory. If a product hits, scale it up. But if a niche suddenly becomes saturated, you must stay flexible and be totally ready to pivot fast. In this market, agility is absolutely your biggest advantage.
Which brings us to our final thought. The Philippine e-commerce market isn't just growing, it's fundamentally shifting into a $40.5 billion powerhouse, driven by young, mobile, and incredibly engaged consumers. With the data so clearly highlighting these high-demand, low-competition opportunities, from that crazy 4,300% growth in herbal wellness to highly targeted local beauty solutions, the blueprint is sitting right in front of you. The only question left is, how are you going to apply this knowledge to capture your share of the market? What will you sell tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.